Welcome to Ready Set RC. I'm announcing that the channel has now entered a partnership program with Team Corally. And what that means is that nothing will be changed from a broadcast aspect, how we review our RCs, how we run our RCs, how I disclose anything good or bad about RCs. That's not going to change. What that means is that Team Corally will be sending out products for us to review on the channel, but from a channel aspect, nothing changes, guys. Nothing changes whatsoever. So what we have in the bottom box, you guys can clearly see the XTR. And this box up top is pretty much the promotional items that they had sent over to me, kind of like a welcome package for when you enter into the partnership program. This box up here, none of this comes with the XTR when you purchase the XTR. So we'll go through what they've sent over to me. Just want to share it with you guys. And all the stuff that is in this box can be purchased on their sites. And I'll put all that information in the description below. So let's see what we got, guys. I've broken all the seals with all the tape that's on here, and let's see what's inside the box. So really nice touch, guys. They sent a welcome letter. That's a really nice touch to it. I've read through it, and guys, it's really personal. I really like this type of stuff when companies do this kind of thing. So now this is definitely my first partnership on the channel, but it's good to know that companies do this kind of things. Makes you feel like they are really appreciating your feedback and your knowledge on the RC. They've provided 2 sheets of custom stickers, a Team Corally t-shirt, Team Corally sweatshirt, some shock oil, some more shock oil, a nice travel bag for your transmitter, and also a Team Corally hat, some diff oil, lipo bag, mouse pad, some hobby scissors, 3 sets of greases, guys. So we got a copper grease, which is for your gears and pinions. We got another lithium grease, which is for your CVDs, and we got an O-ring grease also here. So they gave me 3 sets of greases for my RCs. RC stand, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen other channels who have promoted this too. But they have the RC stand as well and the RC tool set. This is super cool, guys. I actually was going to buy this because I need something for like a to-go set to when I'm out bashing and just throw it in my bag. I actually was going to purchase this. So this is a good one. I really like this. And hopefully that is coming up on the camera. A pit mat. Can never have enough of these. As you guys see on my current pit map, that thing is getting demolished. It was white and now it's kind of like a yellow color to it. So looking forward to this. And that's everything that comes in the welcome pack. So that is because, you know, I am in a partnership with Team Corally. They sent over that welcome pack kind of to get my RC up and running. As I said, that does not come with the XTR when you purchase the XTR. That is just a welcome pack for the people who are partners with Team Corally. But as I stated earlier, all of those items can be purchased either through the dealers that sell Team Corally products or directly from Team Corally. And as I stated before, a link will be down below for Team Corally's website and their dealer locator. But here we are, guys, the XTR. Let's get this thing out of the box and let's see what it's all about. Here we are, guys, the Kronos XTR. For you guys who are not familiar with the Kronos XTR, it is a roller. So what that means, it does not come with your ESC, your motor, your receiver, your transmitter, nor does it come with your servo. So you will need to purchase all of your electronics for this truck to get it up and running. It comes as a roller, so you can customize the electronics as you see fit. This truck is based off the same platform as the Kronos, but for the 2022 edition, there are some modifications or some additions that have been done to this truck. I do not have a Kronos XTR 2021 edition to compare to this, but I do have a Kronos XP 2021. I've made some modifications to it, so it's probably not fair to compare it with this truck because it most likely will confuse people. But we'll just go through this truck, show you guys what comes with it, and then we'll show you the electronics we're planning on installing for this truck. So here we are, guys, with the Kronos XTR out of the package. Let's show you what comes in the box. So you get this very detailed brochure about the XTR. It gives you all the dimensions and specifications on the truck. It also speaks on some of the features and the additions and the changes to the truck on the XTR from the previous model. Also shows the electronics you can put in there. I mean, it's a very well illustrated document. Go through it and get abreasted as to what is going on in this truck, because there's a lot of changes, a lot of improvements on this truck. They're giving you a quick start user guide, and in this guide it tells you how to adjust your camber, your tow, how to set up the truck just before you take it out on its first run, going through your diffs, and 3D blowouts of the truck, the front, the rear, the center, everything. And going through the truck, you have a complete blowout of the vehicle. It's all in black and white, and it's there for you guys to go through. But it's a lot of information. Definitely go through this as you're going through the truck for the first time. You get some stickers for the shell. Please do remember, guys, there is a film on the shell that you have to remove before putting on your stickers, but they give you some screws for your motor mount, some extra body pins, and a pinion, a 13-tooth pinion for the motor once you install. And this is probably the bonus, guys. You're going to get an extra clear shell to paint up yourself and design this truck the way you want. But in doing that and giving you another shell to the truck, they also give you some more body clip retainers so that you're not losing those body clips. There is a receiver antenna also in this package. You get some masking for your windows for the new shell. And the best part, guys, they haven't forgotten about you. They've got some decals that you can apply to the new shell so that you have everything set up to put that new shell back into place. And that's pretty much it that comes in the package, but let's go over the truck at this point. But here we are, guys, with the shell. I'm familiar with Team Corally shells. It has a good strengthening shell to it. It's not thin, it feels really good in the hands. And I've never really had a problem with my Team Corally shells cracking up, breaking on me. They seem to manage pretty well. But as you guys can see, and hopefully the camera is picking that up, the shell has a dull finish to it. That dull finish that I'm speaking about is the film that you have to remove off of the shell before putting on your stickers. So definitely don't go ahead and put the stickers on immediately, because this shell has a film on it that needs to be removed. But here we are with the Team Corally Kronos XTR. We're going to go through this truck front to back, just speak about the items that are on here, and then we're going to close out this video talking about what we're planning on doing with this truck going forward. So going front to back, we have a nice skid plate and bumper in one going on the truck. And this, I can say, guys, on all of my Team Corally vehicles has held up very well. It holds up very well. It's done a very good job in supporting the truck in the front and handling those massive front end landings that I tend to have on my truck. We have massive upper and lower suspension arms on this truck, and it's a pivot ball suspension going on in the front. And there are CVAs in the front of this truck. For the front, we're looking at those HD steering blocks going on the front of the truck. And that is one of the areas that was a concern on the 2021 lineup. And we are seeing that we now have the HD capture and steering blocks on here. Now we have spring steel outdrives coming out of the front differential. And we also have a sway bar attached in the front. CNC machine 775, 5mm thick shock towers on this front and rear. 16mm big bore shocks are aluminum body with a metal shock cap as well. HD shock pistons, HD shock ends, hard shock springs. A lot of adjustments going on in here in the front, guys. We have 3 adjustments on the top of the shock tower for your shocks, and 2 adjustments down below on the arms for the shocks. Coming off behind that, we have an aluminum dual steering rack system on this truck. And that's looking like about maybe 3mm thick. You do have camber and toe adjustments going on in the front too. So we have adjustable turnbuckles going on in the front of this truck. Also coming off the shock tower, we're looking at the front end of that center brace coming off the truck. And there's a lot of bracing going on here. So we have bracing going on at the top, coming down to that center brace. And then we have another bracing coming down from the center brace to the center differential. Down below, we also have another brace coming off of the steering rack, going to the carbon fiber bracing in the center of the truck. And then that ties back to another chassis brace coming off the carbon fiber, going to the rear shock tower on the truck as well. And below that is another piece of carbon fiber to just give you a little bit more stiffness at the bottom of that brace. Then we have the center brace going from the center differential all the way back to the rear shock tower. When we're looking at the rear of the truck, we have composite bracing coming down from the chassis to the shock tower. Also that we have too is a system to support your shell up here at the top, and then a mounting location for your GNSS if you're trying to capture speed or telemetry on the truck. This will work with the Sky RC or the Power Hobby GNSS system on the truck. And there towards the rear of that center brace, we also have a mounting location for your power switch. The out drives for your front differential is also spring steel, and then that goes back to the center differential. And the center differential also has spring steel coming off the front and rear of that, and then that ties back all the way to the rear differential, which also has spring steel coming off of the center drive shaft section. Dog bones in the front and the rear of the center drive shaft. And then we have the out drives coming from the rear differential. Those are also spring steel, with the out drives to your hubs also being spring steel. We're staring at a sway bar also in the rear of the truck. Shock adjustments in the rear of the truck. We have 4 adjustments on the shock tower with 2 adjustments on the suspension arms. Once again, those beefy suspension arms on the rear, and they do have carbon fiber inserts that you can buy as optional parts to put into your suspension arms in the front and also in the rear. This will stiffen up the truck just a little bit more for you if that is what you're looking to do. Camber is adjustable on the rear of the truck. Multiple mounting positions for your wing on the back of the truck. And then there is a skid plate coming off the back of the truck. And then it extends as a rear bumper to some extent. But there is a massive skid plate going on in the truck as well. As for the motor mount, we're looking at a sliding motor mount on this truck. The servo mount is on an angle, but they do provide a metal servo horn for this truck. We also have an adjustable servo saver on this truck as well. There's a CNC machined 775 aluminum chassis. It is a 3mm thickness, and we're staring at a pretty generous battery tray, which is adjustable, and a good size location for your ESC. Once again, the ESC that they have rated to go in here would be a 6S ESC. Hexes on the wheels, we're looking at 17mm. And one thing I gotta say, guys, is that these tires, I really enjoy these tires. I've run these tires on a few of my other RCs, and I truly do enjoy them. What I plan on doing with these tires is I plan on aerating them out and sealing off the inner hole on the wheels. That way the tires do not balloon as much, but I am looking to do that on these tires. It's something that I've done on my previous Kronos as well. So what's next for the Kronos XTR here at Ready Set RC? I'm gonna get the electronics in, which means that I'm gonna put in a Team Corally 6S rated motor in here. I'm also going to put the Team Corally servo. I'm taking that actually out of my Kronos, so I'm going to put it into this truck as well. For the receiver and transmitter, I'm just going to use one of the systems that I currently have. Most likely I'm going to take my Futaba system and put that in this truck. And for the ESC, I'm going to leave that one as a surprise, guys. I have some ideas of what I want to use for the ESC. I'm not going to quite use what Team Corally has for the ESC. I got something else in mind, and I'm planning on installing that up in here next. But for the most part, guys, we're gonna leave it here. Once again, guys, I'd like to thank Team Corally for signing us up for the Creators Program. Please go to their site at world.corally.com to see the latest products that they have and the products that I have mentioned in this video. If you're trying to find out who sells Corally products in your area or in your country, go to dealers.corally.com. I'll leave the link to both sites in the description below. Also, you can check out Team Corally on their social media sites, on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Give them a sub, follow, and share, guys. We're in a great time within the RC community where we have tons of options for RCs. But we're gonna leave it here. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram for our latest posts to the channel. This is Ready Set RC, signing out. Thanks again, guys.